Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about how I ended up going to South Korea. I went to Seoul and just my experience and how I ended up getting there, why I decided to go, and also just some more emotional au pair stuff about how I felt leaving China and whatnot. So if that sounds interesting to you, please stick around and keep watching. So how it started was I had been living in Shenzhen, China, which is at the bottom south end. Of course, the south would be the bottom. At the bottom end of China, very bottom, super close to Hong Kong. And I had been there as an au pair in China, and I'd had another friend who was an au pair. And her and I had gotten really close, and we were scheduled to be done around the same time with our contract with our company. So we were supposed to be done around the same time, and we had thought hey, what if we, took a vacation together before going back to our own countries and stuff. So she was from South Africa and I'm from America. So there's not too many places to really meet in the middle. So we were thinking, because with my visa, I'd been able to go to Hong Kong, but her visa, she couldn't leave China. Once she left China, that was it. She could not get back in without reapplying for a new visa, whereas my visa required me to leave China every so often and then come back. So I had to go to Hong Kong pretty frequently, and I can talk about that too in another video. But we were thinking, okay, what if we go to Hong Kong for a few days? That would be fun. We were ending around Christmas time. We're okay, we'll do Christmas in Hong Kong, which was literally an hour drive, maybe an hour 45 minutes. I mean, I would usually take the subway, the metro, from I'd just get in at the subway station near my house in Shenzhen and take the mat all the way to immigration, the border between China and Hong Kong, go through immigration, whatever, then get onto the Hong Kong side and just hop right onto the Hong Kong metro and then go wherever I was planning to go in Hong Kong that day. So it was super close. It wasn't far away at all. And her and I were thinking, okay, we'll just do that. And then, flying from Hong Kong versus flying from China is way cheaper. So we're we'll just fly home from Hong Kong. Anyway, so that was our plan. We were thinking about it. But then one night, her and I were out on a walk because we lived in the same apartment building, actually. Actually, the children that we were au pairs for were cousins. So we ended up spending a lot of time together, which was really convenient because, don't get me wrong, I loved being in China. I loved making friends with Chinese people. But when, your first language is English and there's not too many people around you who can really relate to you, it is really nice to have, obviously we're from different cultures. She's South African, I'm American, whatnot, but it was nice to have someone that could kind of relate on a lot of Western things. But it was, anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. We could talk all about that in another video. So her and I are okay, we were going on a walk, and we happened to bring up how we both actually had wanted to be au pairs in South Korea before going to China. But there's not many au pair programs. I think it has to do with legal issues or whatnot in South Korea. So we both were sad and put that aside, and we're okay, where else could we go? And we both ended up in China, and cool, we met, whatever. So then we were just kind of joking, we're what if we just went to South Korea instead of Hong Kong? And we were yeah, okay, blah blah blah. And then we kind of wait a minute, what if we really did that? Really went to South Korea? What if that's what we do? So we sat down and we looked at the numbers, we looked at the plane tickets, and we looked at the cost of staying at places, and we were looking in Seoul at this time just because we weren't really too familiar with other cities. We knew of Busan or Daegu, or I don't know, there's lots of cities, but those are some of the bigger ones that I'm aware of. And so we just were okay, what if we look? And actually, other than the plane ticket from China to Seoul, it would be basically the same price. And we both live completely on opposite ends of the world from like China. She's like way down here and like over there, and I'm like way on the other side of the world. So we thought, you know, it's, you know, to pay, I think we paid like maybe 250 American dollars each to go from Shenzhen, China to South Korea. Yeah, we paid about that. We were like, you know, to get back over to where we are right now in the world sometime else, it's gonna cost a lot more. Oh, excuse me. It's gonna cost a lot more than that. So we were like, heck yeah, let's look into this seriously. So we start like calling our parents and like, we were gonna pay for this ourselves, by the way. Disclaimer, pay for this ourselves. My parents did end up helping me out a bit with some stuff, to be completely honest. But for the most part, we were like, okay, we're gonna do this ourselves. She's also a little bit older than I am, but I don't know if that doesn't matter. So we were looking into that kind of stuff, and then we started realizing, hey, like we could really do this. Now I started feeling kind of guilty because I have some friends that live here where I am now who really like South Korea and the culture, and you know, they would like to go too, and we talked about like going together and stuff. And I was kind of thinking, oh, I don't want to go without them and like this and that, but I've just been really thinking about it and talking with people, and I talked with them too a little bit, but I should have communicated a bit better, to be honest, but they were supportive for the most part. So yeah, so we ended up like, basically she and I just, it was super last minute. So we had been planning Hong Kong probably since end of mid-September. And by the way, we were supposed to be leaving in December. And this was probably right like November when we were like, yeah, let's go to Korea. So then we went to Korea. So that whole process was crazy because first of all, we had to do so much money converting. Oh my gosh, so much, because I had been converting everything into American dollars so that I could understand how much money things would cost, and she had been converting everything into RMB because she really understood the Chinese money, and I understood it. Obviously I was living there using it, but in my brain it was just easier for me to see it in American figures. And then we had to convert that into Korean won because we'd have to get stuff transferred over, and like it was this big old thing. And then we were looking into visas, and thankfully if you're an American or South Korean, American, I think you have 90 days visa free as a tourist in South Korea, and I think if you're South African it's, I think she had 60 days? I'm not sure. Anyway, we were only planning on going for like 10 days or so, or not 10 days, like a week. Yeah, we went for a week. And that's kind of how we did it. It was like totally just like, hey, let's go to do this, ha ha ha. But like, actually, what if we did? Like, what if we went, kind of thing. So I don't know. It was crazy. So anyway, that's how I ended up going to South Korea. Like, unplanned. I mean, it was planned. Like, me, I had like my little notebook. I planned everything to a T and like looked at places we should go. Like, we went to a national park, and there's certain like areas, like, I'm probably gonna butcher the names, but there's like Myeongdong. Oh no, okay, I cannot. Okay, guys, I'm gonna study Korean. Okay, I'm studying it soon. I'm gonna start as soon as school's over. I'm gonna hardcore study it. Like right now, all I really know is like the basics, like 안녕하세요 or 괜찮아요, you know, things like that. I know some basic stuff from the dramas and whatnot, but right now my brain is still like stuck in Chinese mode, so I'm like, ni hao, wish like, ugh, I can't. My brain is such a mess because half the time I'm thinking in English and half the time I'm thinking Chinese. It's just a mess. I try to talk. Obviously, you can see I'm very not good at this talking situation. Anyway, way off topic again. I'm very good at that. But yeah, so that's kind of how I ended up going to Korea before coming home. Was just her and I were like, hey, let's go somewhere together before coming home, because let me tell you, being au pair is great. I would not change my experience for the world. In fact, I learned so much about myself, about children, about, I mean, obviously China. It was probably the best experience of my life so far. Like, most enriching, I would say. But it is not easy, okay? It is so hard. Like, being responsible for somebody else's kid and their education and teaching them English and being in a new country, in a new culture, surrounded by new things. It's exciting and it's fun, but it's not easy. And we were both extremely tired and extremely stressed and just completely like at our ends by the time our 6 months was up. That we were just like, let's have a vacation together. So honestly, when I was in Korea, I was kind of like a walking zombie because I was like, oh yeah, that's so cool. Wow, I love that I'm in Korea. Oh, that's so interesting. Oh wow, this food is so good. But like, honestly, I was so tired that I literally would go back to our Airbnb and like take a nap. Like, I'm in Korea, okay? Let me tell you, this used to be like my dream to be here. And now I'm here and I'm freaking taking like a 4-hour nap midday because I'm so tired. Or like, I was trying so hard because, you know, I wanted to experience things and go do stuff and be excited about everything. And I really was excited about everything. But I was like so tired and like so emotional because not only am I now like about to leave China, well, I've already left China. Not only have I just left China and my Chinese host family who I became very close with and like love so much, but now I'm going back to America, back to my normal life. But I mean, I was super excited to see like my friends and my family and like go to regular school instead of school online because that almost like killed my sanity too. But I was just like so emotional, so tired, so exhausted, like, ugh. Plus, like, I had been just, yeah, it was a fun time, but I don't know. That's my story. I will say I have tons of stories about China, tons of stories about Korea, some stories about Hong Kong. I must tell you about the day I spent in Hong Kong with my friend. I will never forget that day. It was the funniest day of my life, but that is for another video, another time. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video about how I ended up going to Korea and just what it took to get there and all that. And I'd love to hear if you guys have any questions or things you'd like me to talk more about, my experience. And also let me know if you're going to Korea or Asia or traveling anywhere and what your experience is going to be like or is like or was like or any of that. Also, by the way, it's kind of like late at night, so I'm pretty tired right now. Sorry if I'm not making sense, but thanks for watching. 감사합니다. I'm sorry, I know my Korean's probably so awful, but 안녕. Okay, now that I'm done being super cringy, bye. See ya. Sayonara. Jen. Okay, bye guys.